Welcome in, Melly.
Okay, so this is someone who is a former atheist. So I'm
What?
taking that you're an atheist, right?
I'm sorry. Oh, what?
Atheist? Are you an atheist?
Yeah.
Just yeah, I used to be a former atheist.
You were
So
never a real atheist.
well, I mean, even I was probably never real or false, but yeah, I didn't believe for a good chunk of my life, and I was a Wiccan, and I kept on jumping,
So you weren't an atheist
and
then. Just like I said, Wiccans aren't atheists.
no, I was a Wiccan when I was in high school. And then I got into heavy metal and all that kind of stuff. And then I
W
was,
heavy metal. Big W for heavy
yeah, yeah.
metal.
I
Fantastic.
I I was play I would play in a band with friends of mine, and we were not Satanists. We just didn't believe in anything. But
Sure.
like,
Fantastic. And then you
but
read the Bible and saw that it condoned slavery, and
actually, I
you're
have
like
not
that's
read
the
the
thing.
Bible.
Oh well, that's a big problem. We're talking about the Bible tonight. While we're at it,
Yeah,
would
I
you
read
like
the scripture.
would you like to read the Bible
Yeah,
with
no,
me?
yeah, no doubt. But like,
Fantastic.
someone was really nice and sent me the verse um in the panel, and they said go to Leviticus 25, 48, 46, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I went into this,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not like a Bible expert, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I really am not, because I just started believing in God like 3 years ago. So
Oh,
I'm,
I
I'm
mean,
kind of new in my spiritual journey.
I
Yeah.
can fix it for you. I can make sure you don't believe in them.
Well, I mean, I had one of these things that could either turn me back. I just had something that I couldn't find science to explain it. So either it would turn me back into Wicca, and what I did was I started, going
Listen,
to church,
I'm down
basically.
with Wicca. Go back to Wicca. This Bible's nonsense. All right. What verse do you want to read?
Uh, so like right now I'm here because someone in the panel kind of helped, because I
Thanks,
just
Jay.
jumped into your live and they were like, check this out, check
Mhm.
in Leviticus.
Yep.
And this is the
So
this is the
they
book of
were
Exodus.
there were two oh, you don't want to do Leviticus? I'm confused. I thought you said Leviticus 47 through 49.
Yeah, no, go ahead, go ahead. But what I'm seeing, like, from this is coming from the book of Exodus. And if I'm not mistaken, the book of Exodus is the Old Testament. You could quote
Yeah.
me if I'm wrong, like, and this is, you know, when Moses, where it, basically the story of Moses was there. And from what I understand, these people back in the day, the pharaohs, the people obviously with power, Romans and all these kind of people, they had their slaves, and the people that they
Right.
oppressed, of
Well,
course, the people
these are
that were
not
peasants.
these are not laws for the Pharaoh. These are laws for the Israelites. And the law says when a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. Should we be allowed to sell our daughters as slaves?
No, not at all. That's pretty messed up.
That's horrific. And God says that's the deal. If you sell your daughter as a slave, she doesn't get to go out. She's toast. And
Like, I
then
don't have a daughter, but if I had a daughter, I would do no such thing. Yeah,
yeah,
that's just evil.
it
Period.
I agree. It's evil. Go back to Wicca. This book is not for normal people.
I wouldn't call myself normal because I'm still trying to find my quote unquote spiritual path.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm going to show you a Bible
because I don't.
passage that I will
Yeah,
take you right back to Wicca, okay? I haven't done this one in a couple days, but uh,
people actually were applauding me for leaving Wicca, because there were people that were from different religions. Because I'm always open to enhancing my spiritual journey.
mhm.
So I'm always trying to find out, about different religions. I find that fascinating. And there were people that told me that Wicca is it's a polytheist religion. And people were like, "Oh, you did the best thing ever." Because you have to go
Monotheistic.
into believing in just one God.
Don't listen to those goofballs. That's silly. So in Deuteronomy,
Yeah.
God gives a really good command. I'm sorry, a really bad command. It says, suppose a man marries a woman, but after going into her, he dislikes her and makes up charges against her, slandering her by saying, I married this woman, but when I lay with her, I did not find evidence of her virginity. The father of the young woman and her mother, thou shalt then submit the evidence of the young woman's virginity to the elders of the city at the gate. The father of the young
Oh my
woman
God.
shall, I know, right? It's worse. It's going to get really worse. The father of the young woman shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter in marriage to this man, but he dislikes her. And now he's made up charges against her, saying, I did not find evidence of your daughter's virginity, but here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. Then they shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the town. The elders of that town shall take the man and punish him. They shall fine him
Oh,
100 shekels of silver, which they shall give to the young woman's father, because he has slandered a virgin in Israel, and she shall remain his wife, but he shall not be permitted to divorce her as long as he lives. If, however, the charge is true, that evidence of the young woman's virginity was not found, then they shall bring the young woman out to the entrance of her father's house, and the men of her town shall stone her until she is unalive. So if a young woman doesn't bleed on her wedding night, she gets stoned. Not the good kind.
oh my God.
Yeah. And you probably know as well as anyone else that only about 45% of women actually bleed their first time, which means about half the people that would have been executed under this ruling would have been innocent.
I think I might have to talk about this verse with because I actually met the priest that I met is kind of like a progressive priest.
Yeah.
He's actually really cool and he studies theology.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was cool when I told him that I was into Wicca. He said, "Oh, sure, that's okay."
Yeah. Go
So,
back to Wicca. Forget this book.
thank you for that verse because it's a real eye opener, and thank you for the live. I am going to keep on saying, "Oh my God," in silence.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Good to hear from you, Melly.
Have a good day. All right, thanks. Bye.
That's honestly the reaction I had the first time I read these passages. Like, if your first reaction is to defend this stuff, that's not the right reaction. That's not the reaction you're supposed to be having. The reaction should be disgust.